Today I'll be talking to you 5 tips how to write an effective essay. Number 1, essay must be effective, because if it is not effective, then it is not an essay. Effective means that when somebody will read your essay, so it must leave an effect. Effect means that the person takes some impression, and that impression is because of your language, beauty of your language, that your language must be effective. Now, how to make this language effective? You have to use proper words in a correct way when you convey your ideas to the other person, so that person may consider reading your essay in a way which is beneficial and entertaining. The person may take some benefits, the information that you are sharing, and at the same time that person may entertain himself or herself while reading the essay. So tip number 1 is that each and every essay must be effective. It must leave an impression and effect after you read, and you can do it when your language is correct and your language is impressive. Now, tip number 2 is that we must understand that essay writing, that is the highest level of writing, because here you are writing your personality in the form of words, and your personality is your thoughts, and your personality, that is your character, your habit, your behavior, and your experiences. So all this, including your understanding, knowledge, data, information, and wisdom, all these you are expressing in the form of an essay. So it means that the essay, tip number 2 is that it must express your personality. Your personality, that must be expressed in the essay in an original way. It must be very, very original. Your own thoughts. You cannot copy paste. You may quote, in a very little way, but you could not quote like people in a wrong way, because this is your presentation, and this presentation must be your own. So originality, that is tip number 2. Tip number 3 is that we must understand what is an essay and what is not an essay. Essay, when you write, it is a short literary composition in which you analyze, you explain, you describe, you give arguments. So you prove your point, and that point that you are presenting, that is in a non-technical, non-systematic way. So it means that you will use data, you will use information, you will use knowledge, but in a non-technical way. Non-technical means that, for example, you are writing that about current affairs, about the situation in Syria. So you are not giving news, you are not giving information, data, but you are analyzing the situation of Syria in an effective way. So when the person will be reading the situation in Syria, so that person will get an impression in a non-technical, non-systematic way. It doesn't mean that you can start from the beginning to the end. You can start from the end and you can go to the beginning. There is no system, there is no organization. That organization that you will give for writing an essay, so that must be in a way which is more effective, but not necessarily systematic. That is important. Now, the next step that you must keep in mind while writing an essay, that essay is the highest level of writing. So when you write an essay, for example, in English language, so you must make English language as your mother tongue. You take English language or any other language, Arabic language, Persian language, French language, you take it to your unconscious. You speak the language as you speak your mother tongue. Otherwise, you cannot write an essay. This is very, very important, because essay is the highest form of writing. So if you don't have full command on the language in which you are writing an essay, so it means that you are unable to write an essay. So you have to focus on the language, on the quality of language, and you must make that language as your own language, your own mother, like your own mother tongue. So it means that you have to focus on the language first. That is important. And the last tip that I would like to share with you is that don't let people to check your essays. That is a very, very wrong way. You have to write essay in 100% accurate way. There should be no grammatical mistakes, there should be no spelling mistakes. So if you show it to other people and they check it, so they will be checking a piece of writing. They will be not checking like your whole there may be some problem in the recording, but I'm still continuing because my voice may be audible to you. So you have to the last step is that the mistakes of grammar and the mistakes of spellings. These mistakes are unpardonable. You cannot commit mistake in spellings and you cannot commit mistakes in grammar. That should be 100% already correct. So it means that you focus on your language and don't show your essays to other people. Otherwise it will be discouraging and you will be wasting your time and energy. Instead of showing it to other people for checking, you have to reach to that level of language in which you never commit any mistake. Because the language is now like your mother tongue. You have full command on the language. So don't show your essays to other people for checking. You have to reach to the level first, and once you reach to that level, then your writing of essay will be really, really effective. So essay writing, that is the most complicated, the most interesting and the difficult task in any language. So for that you have to focus more on language and not on essay writing as such. Thank you.